Hi, I'm Dave Monty and welcome to my video series, Everything Villages. Today I'm doing part 3 of a 3-part pricing series, and we're going to cover the elements of the home and lot which would affect the pricing of the homes the most. So stay tuned. As always, a couple of housekeeping items. If you like this video, please hit like. If you like my channel, please subscribe to it. Both those actions help these videos reach more people, and I greatly appreciate it. Also, if you'd like a copy of my free 42-page guide, Buying and Selling a Home in the Villages, you can email me right here at davemontysales@gmail.com, and I'll send you out a copy. I also have a nifty cost of living calculator slash budgeting tool, and if you'd like a copy of that, you can email me right here at davemontysales@gmail.com. Like I said in the introduction, this is the third part of a 3-part pricing series. The first part was how pricing works. In other words, how you actually do a market analysis, and I'll show you that on the next page, actually. Location, we went through in quite a bit of detail just to give you a sense of how the pricing changes throughout the villages. And in the last part, we talked about, which is this one, the elements of the home and the lot that'll affect pricing the most. All right. So this is the spreadsheet that I use in order to arrive at pricing. I covered this in the first section, but I'll briefly cover it again here. So when I do a market analysis, I have a subject home. I took out the address on this one, and then I need to search for homes that are very similar to my subject home and then make adjustments to it. Right off the bat, I can capture through the system, I can search on whether it's stucco or vinyl, which we'll cover here, in a location. So I'm only going to search around a limited radius around the home that I'm actually looking to price here. So a lot of the things are already done for you just by the search that we do. I might search, like I said, on stucco. Can't search on golf cart garages. We have to make those adjustments on it. So I come up with this spreadsheet, and it does the square foot adjustment on the side of the house automatically for me. Then I need to come in here and make adjustments based on some of the elements within the house. After I do all that stuff, I average my numbers with some of the automated tools to come up with a range of numbers, low, high, and then the average in the middle. The elements we'll cover: pool, view, golf cart garage, stucco, vinyl, floater room, birdcage, lanai, and how well it shows. Some differences between here. A birdcage is a screened room, screened on the side, screened on the top. A lanai has a rigid top, and it's either going to be screened around the outside or enclosed. That enclosure can be anywhere from that flexible vinyl stuff all the way up to double pane sliding glass doors. So again, not all enclosures are created equal. A Florida room is basically a lanai with all of the elements. It has a rigid roof, it's enclosed, it's under air, and it's the same level as the house. A lot of times Florida rooms are completely open to the house. The sliding glass doors are removed if there ever were any. So those are the differences. Let's talk about the Florida room itself. A little bit hard. I can't just put a price on a Florida room. An average Florida room here, again, there's so many varieties of them, but an average one, I usually count about half the square foot price out there. In other words, if the house is priced at about $250 a square foot, I'll take the Florida room square footage and multiply by $125,000 to arrive at that. And that usually covers average. Now, if the back of the Florida room is this big, massive wall of glass and you're looking out over a view, obviously we're going to be adjusting the price of that. A lanai. Now, closed lanai is going to be about $10,000. If it's enclosed and under air, you're probably going to be a little less than the $15,000 total here. Can't have under air unless it's enclosed, but you can be enclosed without the air. A lot of times the updates you do to the home, the ones that add functionality, like makes the room a little bit more usable, are a little bit better than, say, like just putting in granite countertops as an example. And we're going to talk about that, how well homes show here. We did talk about the birdcage, screened all the way around, anywhere between $10,000 to $20,000, maybe less, maybe more, depending on the size of it. And I've seen bird cages here that are, 2 feet wide. It'd be shocked how much of a difference it makes. But I could have a little 2-foot wide bird cage to make the lanai feel a little bit bigger, all the way up to, I think there's one in the villages that's like 6,500 square feet. All right, golf cart garage. This is a big one. And this one is very simple. If it's vinyl, it adds about $25,000 to the house. If the house is stucco, the golf cart garage adds about $30,000. So I'd say anywhere between $25,000 to $30,000. And I estimate only about 15% of homes here in the villages have golf cart garages. Now, again, you're including patio villas and normal villas, which most of them do not have golf cart garage, which is a good percentage of the homes here. But on a designer or whatever, I'd say less than half of the designers in ranch series homes here have golf cart garages. So a little bit of a premium and a feature that a lot of people love on a home. Block versus stucco. Again, this isn't an adjustment that's made to the price on that list because I will have searched block or stucco or vinyl, but you can estimate that a block and stucco home, depending on size, is going to add $25,000 to $30,000, if not maybe $35,000 these days. Only 20% of the homes here in the villages are block and stucco. Again, a majority of the patio villas, which are a little bit smaller, are all vinyl. Some of the newer ones are being built with hardy board and such, so that's why that percentage is low. If you're in the designers and ranch series, probably I would say 40% are block in the homes that are a little bit bigger. So in order to make a baseline number, I searched on 1,100 to 1,200 square feet. I took out the ultra small and the larger homes here. I only did single family homes to take out the villas, and I put no pool and no view. I'm again trying to create a baseline as I go through some of these other elements. On average, when I do this search in the villages, the average home is about 1,600 to 1,700 square feet. And this number I just use in the calculations as we go. The average price is $241 per square foot throughout the villages, and that kind of makes sense. We went anywhere from Spanish Springs area, which was $228 a square foot, all the way down to Brownwood, which was $265 a square foot. On average in the villages, we're about $240 a square foot. I've already covered stucco and vinyl, like I said, $25,000 to $35,000, but I wanted to double check my work here. And what I found is it adds about $17 per square foot to a house at 1,600 square feet. So again, about $28,000. So right in the middle of the numbers that we talked about before. Pool with no view. Now, pools add quite a bit of money on the resale market here. If you can find a lot that will support a pool, often you can put a pool in and have instant equity in the house. There's a hassle factor. But a nice average pool is about $130,000. But if I put a $130,000 pool into something, I probably can charge an additional $200,000 for the house. Now, only about 5% of the homes have a pool and no view, and it adds about $76 a square foot. On a smaller house, it's going to add about that $130,000. On a designer home, I see them all over the place. I know there's a home, but it hasn't sold because she's asking way too much for the house. It's actually an agent's home, and I'm not going to give you the address. But that house probably should go for high fours, low fives. The only real good thing she has in the house is a decent sized pool, and she's asking $950,000 for the house. Basically, she's asking $400,000 for a pool, which is a little bit ridiculous. She's not getting it. The house has been sitting there forever. But there is a premium for a pool, and it is a bigger premium than what a pool costs. So ideally, if you want a pool, you want to find a lot that can support a pool, which are harder to find as more and more people move in and the house changes hands and someone's already put a pool in. So if you have a house that has room for a pool, you're probably going to pay an extra $60,000 for that lot. View and no pool. Which is hard to find, actually, because a lot of the view lots have room for a pool, and the view lots are so expensive. Sometimes, adding a pool is such a small percentage of the overall price. But if I got a view and no pool, which is only 15% of the homes here have a view. When I say view, either golf course, water, trees behind it, just more of a private lot. On average, you're looking at about, $118,000 for a lot. Now, having said that, again, these are averages throughout the villages. If I'm down near, Brownwood in a designer house that's a little bit bigger, you're probably going to pay only $250,000 to close to $300,000 premium for a resale home that's in a good location. It varies all over the place, but I'm just kind of showing you the average here. But view lots come at a huge premium here in the villages. Now, view homes and pool homes and all that are a little bit of a premium, and they continue to increase in price. I know in the first part of this series, we discussed On the low end of the market, it's actually dipping a little bit. On the high end, it does continue to increase in pricing because it is a supply and demand issue. You get to view and pool, and you only got 2% of the homes that have a view and a pool. So a lot of times these homes continue to increase in pricing. So a view in a home, there's so few of them, is going to vary wildly, anywhere between $130 to $200 a square foot, and from $200 to maybe $400,000, if not more. As an example, if I've got a decent, let's say, begonia, about 2,000 square feet in a good location that has a view and a pool, that begonia, if it doesn't have a view or a pool, is probably going to go, like, let's say in a good location, you're brown, maybe about $500,000. You put the pool and the view in there, down in that area, now we're talking $1.1 million. So the views and the pools just add an astronomical amount to the homes, mainly, again, supply and demand issues. Turnkey and furnished. Turnkey means everything you need, meaning it's got the furnishings, it's got the electronics, pots, pans, dishes, linens, forks, spoons, the whole thing, just move in ready. Furnished is usually, obviously, furniture, sometimes the electronics. Someone maybe went into assisted living, so they took their pots and pans and things off the walls, as an example. Typically, when I'm selling a turnkey house, again, varies wildly, but on an average home, we're adding between $10,000 to $15,000, depending on the quality of the furniture. Now, if you've got $100,000 worth of furniture in a house, which some people do, pretty much don't want to sell a turnkey. You won't get your money back out of it. On an average package, you're getting about $10,000 to $15,000. The last one's interesting. This has one of the bigger effects on the price of the home. I often walk into a listing appointment and it's like, I've got granite, I've got crown molding, we just did this, we spent this much and we spent that much, but the house isn't decorated nicely. And buyers, through experience, I know, cannot see what's not in front of them. Meaning if it's not in front of them, they can't imagine it any different. I don't know how many beautiful homes I've walked into that has funky colors on the wall. And they go, oh my God, look at the colors on the wall. And it's like, what? But it's got granite, it's got this, it's got an enclosed lanai, it's got a good view, it's got everything else. You're talking about, someone to come in a couple $1,000s to paint the inside of the house. The flip side is also the same situation. I can have a home that's decorated, it's absolutely beautiful, but it's got Formica countertops. It doesn't have the nicest floors, as an example, but everything looks so nice when you walk in. People fall in love with decor. Again, pricing is subjective. It doesn't quite work out if you're looking to update a home. Go, I put in granite countertops, let's add $10,000 to the price of the home. I put in crown molding, add $6,000. It's not quite how it works. The things that add functionality, like a golf cart garage or an enclosed lanai or something that adds functionality, often will get your money back. Updating kitchens, updating bathrooms, as an example, you will get your money back out of it. I was in a home a couple of months ago, and the home pretty much needed everything. It needed to be updated. And the person asked, hey, if I just replace the countertops, what will it do for me? And my opinion was that not much. The new countertops are going to clash with the fact that you've got a wallpaper border somewhere. So individual elements, I find, do not affect the price that much. Now, I'm spending a lot of time on this for a reason. In the first part that we discussed, we come up with a range of pricing. And what I have found is with that range, here's the average. Here's the high price. It's decorated nice. Let's go up closer to the higher part of the pricing. Again, regardless of the actual physical elements, it's just decorated nicely. Conversely, average price, again, if it has granite, it has crown molding, but it's decorated lousy, then we're going to go a little bit under the average price, regardless of the features and functions. Mainly because what I find is buyers take in the big picture. And they take in the big picture, not individual elements. What happens with buyers, and I see it almost every single buyer, and they don't believe it when I tell them, and then when I point it out that they actually did it, they kind of chuckle. They'll make up their mind within 10 seconds of walking in a door. And I tell my buyers that as soon as you walk in, you're going to know instantly you like it. And they all kind of chuckle, no way, we're going to look at this. We need this, and this. And then sure enough, they get to one of the houses and they go, this is it. This feels like home. And they haven't even checked any of the boxes. They walk in, shows well, smells nice, just looks great. I want this house. Then confirmation bias kicks in. Now, say they wanted crown molding and they walked in and they love the house and it doesn't have crown molding. They're going to come in and say, it doesn't have crown molding, but we can add it. I don't quite like the color of the bedroom back there, okay, but we can paint that bedroom. The opposite happens. They walk in and it has everything they want. It's crown molding, granite countertops, the whole thing. They walk in and go, I don't like it. It's not decorated nicely. It has a little bit of a funky smell. Then they're going, yeah, so what? It's got crown molding. So it's got this and all that. So again, confirmation bias kicks in. They make up their mind. That's a long-winded way of saying that how well a home shows, how well it's staged, how well it's decorated has a lot more to do with the price of the home than individual elements that you upgrade in the home. That's why you don't see granite in here. That's why you don't see crown molding in here and things like that. You can reach out to me if you're looking to make updates to your home, and I can tell you which ones are worth the money to put in, which ones aren't. Whether it's a waste of money because honestly your home needs everything done, but I'm pretty good at being able to tell you exactly how much everything costs and what the difference in price would be for the home. All right. So that's it. That's my 3-part series here. On this particular one, we covered a lot of things from pool to stucco. The big things that will affect it right off the bat. Location. Again, you're going to search on location. Does it have block or stucco? There's $30,000 difference there. Does it have a pool? Does it have a view? Does it have a golf cart garage? Those are the big elements that will give us a range of prices on homes. It's supposed to go by individual element, but in general, what I do find is that how well the house shows has a lot more effect than the individual elements in there. If you'd like a copy of my free 42-page guide, Buying and Selling a Home in the Villages, you can email me right here at davemontysales@gmail.com, and I'll send you out a copy. I also have a nifty cost of living calculator that you can also email me right here at davemontysales@gmail.com. Well, I hope you found this video at least informative, probably not entertaining, and I also hope to see you around the Villages. Take care.